Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So have you ever wondered why certain habits, fears or emotional patterns from your past keep repeating even when you think you have moved on? Maybe you get anxious when people get too close or you overworked to feel worthy or relationships always seem to go wrong. What if many of those patterns trace back to childhood? To experiences you might have buried, neglected, emotional pain, instability, abuse, loss. Childhood trauma doesn't always end when you grow up. It often shapes the way you think, feel, and behave as an adult. So in this video, we'll dive deep into what exactly is childhood trauma and how it can embed itself subtly into adulthood, the psychological, biological, and relational ways trauma shows up later in life and affecting habits, relationships, self worth, and mental health, and why these trauma based patterns persist even when we know better. And most importantly, evidence based healing strategies, how to begin recovering, rewiring, and reclaiming your sense of self. I'll share some therapeutic techniques with you that you guys can inculcate in your daily life. So, if you have ever felt stuck in self sabotage, chronic anxiety, difficulty trusting others, or not understanding why you act this way, so this video is for you. If you guys haven't subscribed my channel, just go and subscribe to that so that you guys can get the latest updates because I keep on updating about psychological techniques that help in multiple disorders and multiple issues that everyone faces in daily life. So let's first discuss what is childhood trauma and why it matters. So the event or experiences in childhood, the abuse, the physical, emotional, and sexual, or neglect, chronic stress, loss of a caregiver, witnessing violence, anything deeply distressing or destabilization for a child's sense of safety. Okay, you might have experienced a fight between your parents, you might have seen neglect, you might have attachment issues, any death of a near or dear one. So this thing or your childhood trauma, if you know the parents has your what the parenting style they had, this also can leave some traumatic imprints at you. Okay, so the childhood is critical period for brain and body development. Okay, and for making children vulnerable, trauma during this period can affect brain development and emotional regulation and stress response system. Okay, trauma doesn't always show immediately. It is a latent impact, and often its effect emerge later at habits, pattern, or emotional difficulties, etc. Um, you might have seen some children or some people who have seen um uh, difficulty in their parents' life. That can be difficulty in their relationship. That can be separation, divorce. It can be violence or anything. So later on in life, they have some attachment issues. They are also having difficulties in their own relationships. So now let's discuss it, how childhood trauma often shapes adults' habits and behaviors, so emotional and mental health and self-view. Adults with childhood trauma often have ongoing issues like anxiety, depression, chronic fear, emotional dysregulation, difficulty managing stress, and normal daily triggers. No self esteem, negative self worth, feeling of guilt, shame, and worthlessness. Many internalize the belief that I don't deserve good things or that love, safety was conditional. This core belief may shape choices, habits, and relationships. Mental health outcomes can be childhood trauma, increased risk for mental illness, mood disorders, chronic stress, sometimes even disorders like PTSD or personality difficulties. For parents, I would say like or if you guys are becoming parents, I would say, like, please always choose wisely, always study. Right now, presently, we have social media and we all have to use it very positively. If you look back in the previous years, so at that time, the parents were not that much aware. But at this time, we have awareness. I would say, like, please, whatever strategies you are using for your children, whatever strategies you are using for your relationships, please be very conscious about that. The words you use, the words you choose, how you say anything to the other person, and how you even behave with the child. You guys should know. You shouldn't command them. You shouldn't say, no, you have to do this thing. No, no, no. Just use very simple, a very empathetic language so that the other person know that you are there for them. This is really necessary. Because if you would instill empathy in your child, in your friend, in yourself, or anybody, believe me, it will support a lot of people. We all are humans. We all should know that our existence matters to the other person. And we have to play our crucial role in the society as well. So, we, or the children, or the people around us, we have to be really empathetic. So, if anybody is suffering, our words, our gestures, our body language should be really supportive. And support the other person really genuinely, okay, so that they know that yes, you are there for them. Okay, when you would support the other person, seriously, you would feel really a relief, okay? And always try to set boundaries as well. Okay, now let's get back to the topic. Then, relationship patterns and attachment issues. It is also a great issue that needs to be discussed. Trauma often interferes with ability to form secure attachment. Okay, adults may struggle with trust, fear of abandonment, or alternatively avoid intimacy together. As a result, some end up in a toxic or unstable relationships, repeating patterns similarly to early trauma, neglect, abuse, overdependence, emotional unavailability. If a person has seen his father is not treating his mother well, this might you might think like, okay, this is a way to treat a woman. Okay, and if he has really learned a lesson from this and he is really empathetic, then he might know like this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. So this is all about awareness and education. Others may isolate themselves, avoid closeness, or have difficulty expressing emotions authentically, leading to loneliness, social withdrawal, difficulty forming stable friendships or partnerships. Then, even with these childhood trauma, affects you at your workplace, especially with your friends as well, because they can take advantage from you very easily, very, very easily, in any terms, okay? Whether it's financially, whether it's any gains, okay? So they can use you, okay? Don't ever let the other person use you. They have coping mechanisms and maladaptive habits. Some adults resort to harmful coping like substance abuse, compulsive behavior, self harm, overworking, people pleasing, self sabotage, perfectionism. Trauma can disarm healthy regulation, and the person uses whichever helps to numb pain or create sense of control. Okay, many people they start using medications. Okay, before medications, you guys should start therapy. You guys should discuss what has happened to you and what's happening and what's wrong. Okay, if you guys ask me regarding therapy, being a consultant clinical psychologist, and ethically I'm bound to maintain the confidentiality and to be highly non-judgmental and to provide you unconditional support. So I'm 24 by 7 available for you if you guys need assistance. If you guys need therapeutic sessions, just let me know. Guys can fix your session and we can have it. Don't worry at all. I'm always available for you. Okay. So emotion dysregulation is responses like anger, outburst, panic, avoidance, shutting down become habitual because the nervous system remains in high alert long after original trauma. Then cognitive and executive difficulties, poor concentration, memory issues, difficulty with planning, decision making, and impulse control. If trauma affected brain development, this can also be harmful, but don't go for that, okay? Then chronic stress impaired emotional, mental health, and dysfunctional relationships. Over time lead to burnout, decreased life satisfaction, difficulty maintaining stable job, education, and performance. Physical health ramifications too result in trauma and chronic stress linked to dysregulated stress response, which may contribute to poor immune functioning and increased risk of cardiovascular and metabolic conditions. Studies have seen like if you have through stress that can be associated with their cardiovascular issues, okay? So wherever you guys are going through, please discuss it with someone around you who can better understand you and who is highly non-judgmental. Okay, don't share your feelings with random people because believe me, they would just make fun of you. And if you are in front of them, like if you have, sorry, if you have shared something with them that is really confidential, and but you know when you guys are sitting at a gathering they can ask, oh, this has happened to you, and like they can start making fun of you. So please stay away from these people. Okay, you should choose and you have to select what is the best option and where to go, and why these patterns are hard to break even if we know better. So biological and neurodevelopmental and brain trauma can alter brain structure and function. Example, stress response system, emotion regulation circuits, making certain patterns hypervigilance, emotional reactivity, avoidance, and disassociation that is automatic. Underlies core beliefs in childhood trauma often teaches children negative beliefs about themselves. I'm unworthy. I must be careful, and I'm unsafe. I don't deserve love. These belief systems guide adult behavior unconsciously. Coping as a survival in childhood, certain strategies, people pleasing, avoidance, hyper responsibility may have helped survive emotionally socially, but because become maladaptive in adulthood when self-worth, well-being, and boundaries matter. But lack of awareness, many adults don't connect their current struggles with early trauma, so they may blame themselves, continue repeating the cycle unconsciously, and feel stuck. Now, let's talk about healing, recovery, rewiring, and the strategies. These are actionable and helpful. And the step number one is recognize and acknowledge the trauma and its impact. Okay. Could my recurring pattern, fears, or habits stem from childhood? You have to ask yourself this question. Write down childhood memories, even vague, recurring adult themes, fear, avoidance, people pleasing, self doubt, emotional triggers, habitual reactions. This helps make unconscious patterns conscious. Naming emotion experience reduces shame. Again, acknowledging trauma doesn't mean you're broken. It means you are human. It allows healing. Build emotional awareness and regulation skills. That is step number two. Practice mindfulness, grounding, self-soothing. For people with trauma history, learning to sit with feelings rather than react is the key. And then psychoeducation. Understand what's happening in your body and brain. Fight and flight. Hypervigilance triggers. This knowledge helps reduce self-blame. Breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, safe space imagery, journaling and therapy. And then therapy is really sorry, therapy is really necessary, but journaling is also really important. Gives you an insight. Then step number three is seek safe relationships and healthy attachment patterns. Emotional support matters. Build relationships, friends, community, therapy groups that are stable, predictable. This helps rewrite internal models of trust, safety, and intimacy. Learn healthy boundaries. Trauma survivors often overgive and overcomply. Practice asserting needs, saying no, setting limits, and expressing feelings. Even those people who have difficulty in saying no, I have also made a video recently. You guys can go and check on my channel. That is for you. Retrain relational expectations. Remind yourself it's okay to be vulnerable and to ask for support and expect respect and stability. Okay, and respect is the foremost element in any relationship. Always remember that. Then step number four is cognitive restructuring core belief work. Challenge negative self-beliefs. I am unworthy. I am broken. I don't deserve good things. Replace with compassionate, realistic, and strength-based beliefs, self-worth, resilience, and right to healing. Okay? Like, I am worthy. I can do this. I don't deserve bad things to happen to me. I can do good things, and I am motivated. I can do this. Okay, use these things. Okay, CBT, trauma informed therapy, inner child work helps reframe trauma meaning, heal internal wounds, and build self compassion. Okay, even ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy too, affirmation and self care, and can treat yourself as you wish you were treated as a child. Judge evaluation is safe. I'd also say one thing: what has happened to you, please don't pass your traumas to your children. Okay, just change yourself. Practice gradual exposure, relearning new habits, new patterns. Experiment with new behaviors, healthy boundaries, honest communication, pacing relationships, self nurturing habits, sleep, hobbies, rest, social support, sewing, replacing trauma based coping mechanism. Set realistic pace and expectations. Healing isn't linear, may involve setbacks, celebrate small wins. Each small step towards healthier living matters. Use support systems, therapy, support groups, trusted friends. Healing often requires community, not isolation. Then, step number three is integration and accepting the past, owning your present, and creating your future. Your trauma may always be part of your story, but it doesn't have to be the script you live by. Integrate your experiences, knowledge, acknowledge the pain, grief if needed, but don't let past define your future. Build identity beyond trauma, discover values, passions, relationships, self worth, independence of early pain. Emphasize hope and growth. Healing may take time, but neuroscience and therapy show the brain and psyche can change with awareness, effort, and support. If you recognize yourself here, that's not a flaw, it's a sign that something inside you is asking for compassion, understanding, and healing. You don't have to walk this path alone. Therapy supportive relationships, self work that can help you heal, not just survive. Healing is not forgetting, it's learning to live, love, trust, and grow. Once again, one day, one breath, one step at a time. Okay? Don't worry, I'm with you. For therapy, you guys can approach me anytime. For any sort of assistant, I'm 24 by 7 available for you. Don't feel alone. If you guys haven't subscribed my channel, just go and subscribe it so you guys can get the latest updates and stay connected with me because I'll make more videos like this so you guys can stay connected with me. See you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.